What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. This is my Resplendent review of Karla and I'll be going over the builds and analyzing her as a unit. So Karla is a Gen 2 Sword Infantry unit with Vassal's Blade as her weapon refine. She got this refine a year ago, so it's still pretty recent in my opinion, and it does do her a lot of favors in terms of combat. So it does have -1 special cooldown built into it, and she can get plus 10 speed out of this weapon and plus 5 attack. And she can also get true damage based on 15% of her speed. And then finally, she can also get null follow-up out of this weapon. So this weapon does help her be a lot more speedy, especially with her speed super boon. And that is really helpful for staying competitive with the recent fast units we have now. So Karla can still be pretty fast. She can run Vital Astra because of having -1 special cooldown. So she can easily run Time Pulse and then pre-charge it. And this refine does free up her slot B skills, so she can always run some other skills like damage reduction for example, because she doesn't really get any kind of extra bulk out of this weapon. She can get some nice true damage, which is going to be about 10 to 11 at max investment, so that is always good, and null follow-up is easily the best part of this weapon. So Resplendent Karla overall is actually not that bad of a sword infantry unit, even on a budget, and her stats are still quite competitive with that 42 base speed with a super boon on it, so she can definitely stay fast and use skills which a lot of the fast infantry units use. Her bulk is kind of balanced and she does have decent HP, so that can always help her with the tanking with damage reduction. So let us take a look at some of the builds that you can run on Karla. So on a budget you can easily give her Wind Sweep. So having null follow-up in your weapon always opens up the usage of Wind Sweep. So this allows you to double attack while still not getting counter-attacked, and you can easily get this from a 4-star Lifis. You can also run Life and Death in her slot A because she's not going to be facing any kind of counter-attack. So this can definitely work on a budget. And Blade Session is a great player phase Sacred Seal, and then Speed Smoke is something that you can run. Savage Blow is definitely not something you want to give her because her Refined condition does have the HP of the foe in mind. So this does work as a pretty decent budget build, and you can also run her at max investment or high investment, and Vital Astra is easily the best special that you can give to her. The reason being is that she's got -1 special cooldown weapon. With Time Pulse, you can pre-charge Vital Astra and get the damage reduction, and you can get even more damage reduction by running Close Call in her slot B. So she can pretty much get 58% damage reduction with these two skills. And then in the slot A, you can always run Attack Speed Ideal, which can give you +9 attack and speed buff. And more speed is always going to be nice for Karla for getting that true damage and also for getting the damage reduction. If you're going to be giving her a Floret, then I would definitely suggest going for plus attack IV because she can one-shot a lot of units with Vital Astra, and one-shotting units is always going to be helpful because Karla does not have any kind of null guard or a tempo skill in her weapon. So if you can one-shot any kind of guard opponent, that is always going to be helpful. But if you're not going to be giving her a Floret, then plus speed IV should be your priority. You can also use her at max investment with Distant Dart, and Karla doesn't really get any kind of bulk with her weapon, so that's why you're really dependent on the damage reduction you get from Vital Astra, Spurn, and then Speed Smoke 4. So you can easily pre-charge your Vital Astra with maybe Duochrome or Infantry Pulse, and that way you can have it charged up and still use Speed Smoke 4 and its damage reduction to good effect. And Bonus Doubler is a pretty nice Sacred Seal for this kind of Omni-tanking playstyle. Even though she's not the strongest in that role, that is definitely something a lot of Karla users do because she is fast. So damage reduction usage is going to be pretty high with this kind of build, which also means that she's really susceptible to any kind of damage reduction piercing effects like Legendary Nana or Deadeye or Lethality. So this build does have its cons, but also does have its pros with having Distant Dart and being able to function as an Omni-tank. For more specialized usage, you can definitely run Flashing Blade 4 in the slot A, and this can stack up with the true damage that she gets from her Vassal's Blade. So you can have even more true damage, which is always helpful for damage output. And like I said, she doesn't have a tempo skill in her weapon. That is one of the flaws, I guess, when you're trying to use a Galeforce unit. So you can run tempo skill on her, which is going to be crazy expensive. Odd Tempest is going to be giving her the extra movement, so that can always help with the Galeforce. And because this is a mainly player phase build, Blade Session is going to be giving you the max offenses. You can also use her with Attack Speed Unity because her main primary effect does require her to be within 2 spaces of an ally for it to work in the enemy phase. So Attack Speed Unity actually has good synergy with her weapon refine in a sense, and you can also run the new Attack Speed Oath 4 if you want to, because you can get the teleportation out of it and also get the extra offenses and also get the self buff. Self buff is not the most important part, I would say. This is more for the teleportation. And you can always buff up Karla with other units, but with Oath 4 skills, you do get the teleportation, so that is always really fun. So this is a more fun option. It's not the most optimal, I would say. Most optimal is always going to be, you know, Time Pulse and Vital Astra, or like Speed Smoke and Vital Astra, but this is definitely one of the more fun options if you're trying to build up your Karla a bit differently. So attack speed unity can always protect you from the panic debuffs and the debuffs on her offenses, as those are the most important stats for her, and then you can just stack the damage reduction with Vital Astra and Spurn. You can also use her in Summoner Duels with this kind of build for front lining. Now unfortunately, Karla is not the type of unit that you can send in too deep into the enemy lines, because in the enemy phase she's going to be losing out her primary effect if she's not within 2 spaces of an ally, so that's why she works a bit better as a frontliner. So that's why you can just have her with Vital Astra, attack speed ideal, and then you can also run Speed Smoke 4 for giving you more damage reduction. You can always charge up Vital Astra with a Duo Chrom or Infantry Pulse, or even you know, with something like Ledgering Hector if you're going to be using her in Book 3 and prior metagame, where this kind of Karla is definitely going to be a beast. So you can run her with this kind of build and be extremely fast and make full use out of the null follow-up and also the damage reduction. And in Summoner Duels, you know, you're always going to be running some kind of far-safe tank in most cases, so she doesn't really need to run Distant Dart, and instead she can try and get more attack and speed with attack speed ideal. So a melee frontliner role is something that she can do in Summoner Duels. If you want to use her in Arena, then our Dual Infantry 4 is an option, and here you want to pre-charge your Vital Astra because guard effects are going to be pretty common, so getting that damage reduction is always helpful for tanking and for baiting out enemies, which is going to be something necessary for Arena. You can also use her in Aether Raid's offense, and this is a pretty nice time for making this video because she is a Gen 2 unit, and we're going to be having Chaos Season next, and Gen 2 units are going to be the bonus units, so Karla can actually be a bonus unit there, and you can use her in 2 ways. One of the easiest ways of using her is by using her as a Wings of Mercy unit. So after your initiator has fallen into the Wings of Mercy range, she can just teleport and then get the Galeforce off by having Flashing Blade 4, or by even having Flashing Blade as her Sacred Seal if you're running some other slotty skill. And you can also run Infantry Pulse to make full use out of her high HP, which is definitely useful in the light season for pulsing down Ashe if you want to have her with 2 cooldown special Galeforce so that she can just hit once and get the Galeforce off. So yeah, she can be used as a Wings of Mercy unit, and then she can also be used as an initiator. For this, you're definitely going to be needing Winter Bernadetta so that you can damage your allies for 1 damage with Reese Tome, and then you can use Reciprocal Aid or Ardent Sacrifice to instantly fall into the Wings of Mercy range. Because she does have high HP, she can definitely try and use Reciprocal Aid and just instantly fall into the Wings of Mercy range. And when you're going to be falling into the Wings of Mercy range, Frenzy becomes a pretty nice skill that you can use because you can get the Desperation effect out of this, and you can also get the damage reduction. Now even though she's going to be at 50% HP, she can actually tank surprising amount of units with the damage reduction that she gets out of Frenzy. One example which I was calcing is actually Medius. So even if you face a Medius with Warding Breath, Glimmer and Moonbow, and if Medius does not die, Karla can actually survive a special from him because of the damage reduction that she can get. And you can also run Odd Tempest for getting more movement, which is always useful. Even Tempest could also be done. It really depends on your team and when you like to initiate. And you can also have Brazen Attack Speed because as it is, we're going to be at low HP, so might as well use the consistent skill to get the +7 attack and speed always. And this kind of Karla can actually kill some of the not optimally built Medius, and if they're not stacking up too much bulk. So that could be done, but a lot of the optimal, you know, Medius, which are +1 merge, and they're running full defense and resistance buffing skills, Karla can actually fail to kill that kind of Medius even at max investment. You're definitely going to be needing some support from like Peony's Flower of Joy, or maybe Sabotage Defense debuff from like a Temari Air. So something like that could help you. Medius is obviously going to be an annoying unit for any kind of Galeforce initiator because he's just so damn bulky, but Karla at least has the damage reduction and has that null follow-up to double him, which is really helpful. So Karla can definitely work in Aether Raid's offense as a Galeforce unit, and that's one of the better things that she can do, because having Galeforce on a null follow-up unit is always useful, because you cannot run null follow-up in your slot B, especially if you're running her as a Wings of Mercy unit. So the fact that she's got that in her weapon is always helpful. And with null follow-up and frenzy, you can just double attack a lot of the enemies and easily get the Galeforce on them. So I hope you all enjoyed my Resplendent review. If you did, then make sure to share this video with your friends that are trying to build up Karla. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as convoluted as Karla's recruitment in Blazing Sword. So with that, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.